students. Myself Dr. N. Shirisha, Associate Professor from MLR Institute of Technology, CSE Department. Today I am here to tell you about web technologies and how a web designing will be done using a web technologies, which is HTML. HTML is a markup language which is used for designing purpose, web designing. Nowadays, every organization or every startup company, or if you take any organization, so they will have to maintain a website. So for designing that website, what is used? So that programming language is nothing but your HTML, which we call as hypertext markup language. So if you see here, these are the textbooks you can follow. So Web Technologies by Uttam K. Roy and also Web Programming by Chris Bates. These are the two textbooks you can refer for any topics related to web technologies, not only HTML. You can go through XML and also different client-side programming languages, which are JavaScript and advanced JavaScript and whatever the client-side programming languages you have, and also the server-side programming languages like servlets, JSPs. And you have a PHP server-side scripting language also in web technology, which is used for web designing. For that, you can go with the PHP textbook, complete reference. So this is about the textbook part. Coming to HTML. So what is HTML? As I told you, it's a markup language, which is the markup language. Why we are calling it as a markup languages? So why we are calling it as a markup languages? Every web designing will be using the HTML with its latest version. In this markup language, we use a programming language where you use the tags, which will be written in between these less than and greater than symbols. So if you're writing the very foremost tag we use as a HTML. So that is why it is named as a HTML markup language for designing the web documents or web pages, we can call. So it's a hypertext markup language and it's set of all markup tags. Tag is nothing but, as I told you, tag is nothing but which you write in between the less than and greater than symbols. Every HTML document will start with a HTML tag, followed by there are so many user defined tags. So you have a HTML tags which are user defined. So user defined is nothing but where user, not user defined, it is a predefined, which are already defined, and those you can be use here. Those are to be used here for programming. So each HTML tag describes different document content. That means what? Whatever the requirement of your web page is there, according to the requirement we design, for which we use the tags. So it was first developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990. Tim Berners-Lee, who designed this HTML. Okay, so HTML is a hypertext markup language where you call it as a markup language because we are using the tags there. Then first example. So how do you write a HTML program? HTML program is written with the first delimiter tag, which is called as exclamatory mark doctype HTML, which you start with this HTML, but it is not actually a HTML tag, but you use it. Then HTML as the first and foremost tag you have to use for the programming to start your program, and wherever you start the HTML tag, it has to close it at the end. First, sure, whatever you are starting, so it should be closed here. So this we are calling it as a well-formed. So HTML is a well-formed language. That means whatever the tags you are using here, so those tags, wherever you are starting, that should be closed here. Okay. Then head part. Head is a next tag. Head is a next tag. Head means where you have to define what is the program actually about. If you wanted to describe the program, by seeing the program itself, they can identify. So what is the title? Title is the only tag that you will have inside this head tag. First HTML is started and it is closed, then head tag is started and it is closed. In between the head tag you will have is the title tag. Wherever you are starting your title tag, it has to be closed then and there itself within your head tag. Okay, so every starting tag will be normally written like this. So HTML in between less than and greater than symbol, but whenever you wanted to close the tag, it should be followed by the /HTML. The same tag you have to write it here. Then body part. Once the head part is over, each HTML is having a 2 body parts. HTML, in between you will have a head part, okay, and then you will have a body part. Body part is where you write the actual logic. So this is the structure of the HTML. HTML starting tag, ending tag, in between you will have 2 tags, one is head part, the other one is a body part. Head part is where you write the title to describe what the program is all about. Then HTML body defines the actual program content. Okay. Then, so here is a body. So body part, we have taken a P tag. P is also a predefined tag which defines paragraph. P means paragraph tag. So this paragraph tag is used to display the content that you are giving in between the P tags, to display it in as a output. So what is the content here? This is some text. So what is the output of this program? The output of every HTML program can be seen on the browser. So any browser is compatible with HTML to see the output. So the output of this particular program is nothing but the paragraph. So you have a browser, okay, and the browser is having a title bar. On the title you will see your title. What is the title? My first HTML. My first HTML page. Then what is the output? Body. What is the logic you are writing in the body? P tag. That is, this is some text. So this is some text. So this will be the output of the program. Okay, this is a basic HTML program that we are going to write, where you have 2 parts. One part is a head part, the other part is a title part. Head part will have the only one tag, title tag. Body part, you will write the actual logic that is to be displayed on your web page. Okay, so this is the output with the title and also with the text. In HTML, you have a doc type declaration. Doc type declaration, it is nothing but it defines what is a HTML document, defines the complete type of document, okay, but it is not a tag. So here these are the tags, but doc type we are not writing like this, okay. So just, so this will be not a tag. HTML, head, title, body, H1, these are all tags. So whatever this part is there, all the ending tags, and whatever these part we have, these are the starting tags. So starting and ending tags, every tag in HTML will have starting tag and ending tag. Starting tag will be written in between less than greater than symbol. Wherever ending tag, you will have all forward slashes. So in between this you will be describing, but what is about the HTML tag? It defines the HTML document. Head part provide you the header, like heading, with the title tag. So what is the title? That as a heading you will give the complete information about the document. Body part describes the actual logic, the content which is to be visible on your web page. So whenever you are designing the design part, so the display, whatever you have to display, that should be that logic should be written here. H1 is nothing but heading tag. Like if you have, suppose in this screen, HTML is a heading. To get that heading, we will write H1, say HTML, then closing tag. So whenever you are writing in the H1, say font is something like this, the output is like this. Okay, since you have written capital, so however you are giving the case here, so that will be displayed here. Okay, suppose if you give H2 HTML and its closing tag, then what happens? H1 will be giving you the larger font size, H2 will be giving you the smaller font size, like this. Like that, from H1, H2 to H6 you have. If you write HTML with H6, so this will be the least heading size, HTML. This is the least heading size you will get. So if you use H3, it will be somewhat smaller than this H2 and H1. And if you use H4, H4 will be smaller than again these three. And if you use H6, it will be smallest than all this. Okay. So these are all H1, H2 up to H6. These are all called as heading tags. Okay. So why I am talking about the heading tags is, every application whatever you wanted to design in the web page, so you have to display the content. right? So whenever you wanted to display the content, first an obvious thing that everyone will do is giving the heading. When heading has to be given, so we will use all these heading tags which are up to H6. So H1 to H6 are defined. These are all predefined again. Then, so as I told you, the tag name will be given here, HTML, head, title, body, whatever we have discussed. These are all nothing but tag names. So tag name is nothing but whatever we are giving in between the angular brackets. Okay. Web body, web page body is nothing but the display content that we are writing. Then the tag name. So tag name you have to close it. Whatever the tag name you are using here, that should be closed here. So suppose you are using head here. So closing tag you have to use head tag here, like this. So every starting tag will have its own ending tag which is written in between the angular brackets. When you write in between the angular brackets, that means it is a tag. Okay. So that's why the name HTML is defined as a markup language. Then the first tag in a page is a start and opening tag. Second tag will be ending closing tag. Ending tag is just like the starting tag, but we will use slash there to differ it from the starting tag. Therefore, we identify it as a ending tag if there is a slash before it. Then, so first and foremost line, that doc type. So doc type can be given like this. So either it may be given, this doc type will be completely given in capital letter HTML, either it can be given smaller case or uppercase, and these four styles, mix of your case sensitive, it is uppercase and lowercase, mix of all. So this is commonly used, anything, any way you can use, and in HTML5 only it allows this HTML doc type in the uppercase and HTML in the lowercase. This declaration is available. Okay. Then why we are writing doc type is nothing but only to define the document of your HTML. Okay. The browser doesn't display it as a HTML tag. Suppose if you are writing a tag head. Okay. So in the output, so will this head will display? No. So whatever you are writing in between the title tag, it will be displayed in the title bar. This title. Okay. So tag, what is it, what it is doing? It is something like it is parsing and it is giving you how the output should be displayed. Okay. There's a doc type helps the browser to display a web page correctly. So how to display the content? So that will be defined by this doc type. So it's not case sensitive, all cases are acceptable. As I told you, you can give it in uppercase or lowercase or mix of your upper and lower cases. Then how to write your HTML. So you can use any of the editors. Normally we'll go with the notepad in the institution, the basic thing. So you can also go with other editors like Dreamweaver, Web, Microsoft Expression Web, CopyCup HTML editor and Edit++ and Notepad. So these are the basic like editors that we use where you type your program, and every HTML program should be saved with .html, .htm, anything. So .html, if you save it, so it will be saved in the file format of browser. Okay. So when you double click on the browser, you can see the output on the browser. So steps to create a web page. So open the notepad. First you have to open the notepad. Then notepad is nothing but it is an editor where you write your program. There's a notepad. So HTML part, you write the code, say doc type HTML title. So here we are using two tags. So what this will be the output. So output where it will be displayed, it will be displayed on the web browser. So web browser index.html, where we are giving this index as a title. Whatever index you are giving as a title, that is displayed on your title bar. And H1 and P tags. What is the use of H1? H1 is the heading tag and P is a paragraph tag. Right. So H1, when you are giving the first heading, it will be displayed in the larger font because you are giving it as a H1. So this is the output. Okay. So where you are seeing the output? In the browser. P tag is a paragraph tag. What is the content that you have given for paragraph? My first paragraph. So that will be given here. My first paragraph. See the font difference? So here font style will be the larger one and here it is a smaller one. But here this is not a heading, this is heading. So that's why we are giving it as a paragraph tag with a basic text size it will be displayed. Okay. So this is the way to write a program. So program will be written on the notepad, and the notepad will be saved in any location in the system with .html or .html. Then just double click on that, you can see the output in the browser. So these are the ways you can save your program, either .html or .html, and open that in the browser, this will be displayed. Okay. So that's about how we write the program. So HTML structure will have, it starts with the HTML tag, then heading tag, inside heading tag you will have a title tag, then after heading is closed, then only a body will get started. Body tag, when you start, it has to be closed before your HTML is getting closed. Okay. So this is a program, basic program where you are writing a P tag, where you are displaying some paragraphs. So P here stands for, see, this is well formed. Why well formed? You started your HTML, you closed at the end, and after that you started your title, and title here can also be written in between the head tag, and it should be closed after your title is closed. So here head can be closed, then body, then P tag. P tag, it is start and it has to be closed before your body is getting closed, because it has to define a paragraph. If you are not closing here, then you may get a irrelevant output on the browser. So to get a specific way of displaying your output on the screen on the browser, then you have to use this well formed. So you have to close it properly. Okay. So if it is not well formed, then you cannot see the appropriate output on the screen. Then, so you have a head tag, body tag inside your HTML tag. So these are the basic structures, but irrespective of those things, we have all other tags also, like P tag is used for paragraph tag. Then here is the heading. As I told you, H1 to H6 we have different headings. So you start with the doc type where it defines how to define a document, HTML document. HTML tag, directly here a body part. So if you see in the browser, you don't have any title bar here. We have not defined, because here title is missing. So it's optional. To define it, to explain about the program what actually it is, you have to give it. Okay. So otherwise you are writing in the body, then also you will get the output, but without the title. So here what is the body? Body is written in between the body you have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. If you see, the content is same. Head 1 is of largest font. Okay. Somewhat smaller. Again somewhat smaller. And this is the least smallest font. Okay. So font size will be varying accordingly for the given headings. Clear? So only H6, because some text size should be followed to display in the web browser. If you give H7, H8 and all, so that font we don't use in the displaying the content in the web page. So obviously H6 will be the least font that we have to use for the visibility. And this tag, again a paragraph tag which we have discussed, but there are different ways we have given it here. If you see the content, this is a paragraph. We have given it at a stretch, one line statement. But here if you see this, we have given a lot of space, tab spaces, and then we have continued as a paragraph. So what is the difference between this and this in the output? So both, and if you see here, here also you have a smallest space. And this is a paragraph where you have not closed the P tag, and here no ending tag. Okay. Here no ending tag, and here no P tag, right? But here what is happening? So whatever the spaces you are giving, so it is displaying this is a paragraph in a statement at a stretch. Okay. Sometimes if you are giving a slash tag, it will be taking it as a paragraph. Sometimes if you are not closing also, or if it is a basic tags, so you are getting the output. This is a paragraph, is the output you are getting. But even though you have given spaces here, these spaces are negligible here. So it will define in a single sentence. So that is the beauty of your paragraph tag. But if you want the space to be displayed how you are giving, and in that way only if you wanted to display, then we have other tags to display in that format. But P tag will not take spaces, will not consider tab spaces, and also if you are not closing it also, it is working. HTML images. So if you wanted to display an image, every website, if you see at the background or at the top or right or left to the web page, you will have some images to be displayed. So that means you have to upload the image to the web page. So how you have to do that? HTML images. Image tag. Either you can also give completely image image, this as a tag. This will be having a ending tag, okay, and or img tag is also okay. You can also use img tag. So when you are using the source file src is nothing but source here. See, every tag are having several attributes. Okay, we have to define the properties. Like how, if you take a human being, what is his height, what is his weight, what is his color, okay, all that are nothing but the attributes of a human. Like that, in the same way, you will have attributes for the tags that we are going to use. So what are those tags? Image tag is having source and alt, width, height as attributes. What is source? In your local system, you have, say, in downloads. In downloads, you have something like image1. This is a file name I am just giving roughly. So you have some JPEG format, JPG. This you have to load it into your program, then only you can see in the output. So how you can load it? Using your source tag. What is that source? So here sample.jpg is written. Say you have saved that sample.jpg in your downloads. So you can give the complete path, or you can give the relative or absolute path, both relative or absolute paths, like only the name or the complete path, like C drive / some complete path, downloads or / sample.jpg. Like this you can give completely, or absolute path is also okay. Okay, so that is about the source. Now what is alt? Alt is nothing but alternative. Alternative means, suppose if your browser is not compatible with the image that you have given, image format that you have uploaded, then what happens is in the place of that image, the content should be displayed. Suppose I am giving the image of a flower. Okay, if that flower is not compatible, then here I want to display flower.jpg, the name. Like that, the alternative name we are giving when there is a failure in uploading the image. So that here it is defined as a sample.in. If you see here, every tag have an attribute in the format attribute equal to within the double quote value. Okay, so source is an attribute. This is the value. This is the attribute. So here this is the attribute. This is the value. This is the attribute. This is the value. So what is the width? Width is 104. Say what is, suppose if you have a browser, so within the browser, if I want only this much, so say its height and width is defined here like 2020. Now here it is given like 104, say some part of your page will be used for displaying. So this is what height and weight. Again here this is the attribute, this is the value. So every tag is having its own attributes and values which can be defined for defining the properties of a tag that you are using. Say here the example is a image tag. So image tag can be used, can be given using img or image, the complete spelling. Okay, what are the attributes means? Source and alt, width, height. Irrespective of this, you have also several other attributes. We'll discuss slowly. Okay, so these are the basic tags that you have to know how to write a HTML program. We have also other tags like defining a table, okay, defining its cells, what are its rows, okay, and all such we'll discuss in the further classes. I hope you understood the basic structure of how to write a HTML program. Thank you all.